All right, what is going on, guys? This Saturday is UFC Fight Night, Covington versus Buckley, and I'm going to go into my full card predictions. Starting off with the prelim opener of Josephine Knudsen versus Piera Rodriguez. Very shit women's MMA fight. I'm going to go Josephine Knudsen via decision. I'm slightly worried that maybe she'll get out-grappled. Rodriguez is not that good at it at all, but her best attribute, I would say, is her grappling. So that's my only worry for this fight, but it's kind of like a 50-50 shitty women's MMA fight. Who knows what's actually going to happen. Moving up the card. A ghost, apparently. We have Davy Grant versus Ramon Tavares. This should actually be a fairly exciting fight in the bantamweight division. This is an interesting fight to pick because Ramon Tavares, he's not super young. I believe he's 30. Davy Grant's like 30, 37, 38 years old. So he's kind of an older guy. He's constantly turning back young up-and-coming prospects. Tavares, I don't rate him super highly. You know, his last fight with, I can't remember his first name. His last name's City. Is it Siri City? I think. I thought he lost that fight. But Davy Grant's kind of always also in these like fights where it could go either way. Some of the fights he's had recently, I thought he should have won, and he didn't. Kind of a hard fight to predict. Because my guts just tell me to pick Ramon Tavares. He's the younger fighter. But I just have a strange feeling that Davy Grant is going to get the upset here. He's got a 70, 69. It's not really a big reach advantage. They're the same height. I'm going to go Ramon Tavares via decision, just to be safe. Davy Grant, and he's the favorite slightly too. Davy Grant is really hard to get out of there, hard to finish. So I think if he doesn't get the win, he'll be tough enough to survive. I'm going to go Ramon Tavares via decision. Pretty reluctant to pick that, though. Moving up the card. Should be an actual decent women's MMA fight. Nothing super exciting. Miranda Maverick versus Jamie Lynn Horth. I'm going Miranda Maverick. I'm trying to remember the last time. The Jamie Lynn Horth fight on the Canada card. I can't remember. I think she did. I don't remember if I picked her to win or not. I don't even remember who she fought last. I think she fought on the Canada card. Nonetheless, I'm going to go Miranda Maverick via decision. I think she's going to be able to out-grapple her. She's got a pretty strong grappling, wrestling base. Decent with the jiu-jitsu, nothing crazy. And her striking's somewhat improving over the last few fights. She kind of... What Miranda Maverick will do, she'll go on like a few fight win streak, then she'll lose one when she gets a step up in competition. Then she'll go on a few fight win streak, then lose one when she gets a step up in competition. Hopefully one day... because this is in the fly, she is a flyweight. She can put together a win streak. Is she ranked? I don't think she's ranked. If she is, she's like 15. No, she's not ranked. I think she's gonna be able to out-grapple Jamie Lynn Horth to a decision victory. I don't think it's gonna be a super competitive fight, but she does have a slight height or a slight reach advantage and a pretty good height advantage. So that might be a little tricky for Miranda Maverick to get to her, and in those grappling exchanges. Moving up the card, we have Miles Johns versus Felipe Lima. Miles Johns isn't that good. But again, this is kind of like a... I don't want to call it a 50-50 fight. I think it's more of like a 60 to Felipe Lima to 40 Miles Johns. I'm going to go Felipe Lima decision. Felipe Lima via decision. I think he's a bit more well-rounded than Miles Johns and more technical. Yeah, I think that's how it's going to go down. Moving up, this is a difficult fight to pick. We have Sean Woodson versus Fernando Padilla. They're both like long and lanky as hell for featherweights. Sean Woodson 6'2", Fernando Padilla 6'1". Woodson with a 78-inch reach. Padilla. 76-inch reach for Padilla. Very close fight. Woodson's a slight favorite. I think Woodson's going to get it done by decision. I think he could finish Padilla. If he did finish him, it would probably be in like the third round. It seems like Sean, the first round, he's kind of figuring shit out. And then as the fight goes on, he gets his reads and his timing down better. So I think if Woodson was to get a finish, it would most likely be in the third round of the fight. But I think it'll be decision. I think I'm going to go Shab Woodson via decision. Moving up the card, this is an easy pick. We have Joel Alvarez versus Dakar Close. I'm going Joel Alvarez. But does he finish Close? Does he knock him out? Man, he's giant for lightweight. 6'2". I mean, I guess I just said that about Sean Woodson being 6'2" and a featherweight. But he's got... Joel Alvarez has, like, more muscle, clearly, than Sean Woodson. Sean Woodson's built like a 2x4. I think Joel Alvarez is going to get the knockout. I'm going to go Joel Alvarez. Does he get it in the first round? I'm going to go Joel Alvarez late first round TKO. I don't think it's going to be an out cold. I think it'll be a TKO. 7-inch reach advantage. Dang, that's such a big... And he's got a good height advantage as well. There we go. Moving up the card, the featured prelim. Should be a good fight. We have Michael Johnson versus Ottman Azaitar. Johnson coming off of a long layoff. I think it was either the end of last year or the very beginning of this year. He had to have some kind of surgery. I don't recall what kind of surgery it was. I think he pulled out of a fight. I think I'm going to pick Michael Johnson. The problem is, I think he's almost 40 years old. I believe he's like 39, 38 years old. But even in his last few fights, he's so fast. And he's got such good boxing. He's got decent wrestling. And Ottman Azaitar is just not that good. Like, he just doesn't have... Michael Johnson has fought, and looking at it, he almost has as many losses as he does wins. But the schedule of competition he's fought is significantly better than Ottman Azaitar. I'm going to go now, does he knock him out, though? I'm going to go Michael Johnson via third round TKO. I think Johnson's definitely going to have the cardio advantage. The only thing I'm kind of worried about with picking Michael Johnson is he going to be okay coming off this long layoff, or is he going to have some ring rest? That's the only thing that gives me a little bit of worry. I think he's going to win quite easily. I'll stick with that pick. We'll go third round TKO for Michael Johnson. Moving up the card, opening up the main card. We have Navajo Sterling versus Tuco Tokos. Navajo Sterling is not 1-0. Again, the UFC doesn't know how to update their website to save their life. I'm going to go Navajo Sterling. Does he probably finishes Tokos? No, I think he's gonna grind him out to a decision. Tokos isn't that good. Came into the UFC on short notice to fight that French guy. What's his name? Omar Sy, I believe is his name. I can distinctly remember this fight because Brendan Allen was in his corner and he kept yelling at him like, he can't handle me, he's tired. And I think shortly after he said that, he got finished via I think it was a rear naked choke. So he was like, dude, shut the fuck up and fight. Why don't you focus on fighting instead of talking to your corner? I don't think he belongs in the UFC. He's not good. I'm going to go Navajo Sterling decision. But it would not shock me if he could finish Tuco Tokos. Moving up the card. This is a tricky fight. I'm still not 100% decided yet. We have Adrian Yanez versus Daniel Marcos. So, Yanez, I want to pick him, but he lost to Rob Font, and I understand Rob Font's turning down these prospects. Just beat Kyler Phillips very clearly. The fight before the Phillips had, I thought holy shit, he's going to run through Rob Font. But I picked Rob Font, and I thought Rob Font would win that fight. And people are giving me shit for it. You know who you are. I'm going to go Adrian Yanez. I think he's a heavy... Yeah, he's a pretty good-sized underdog. I think Yanez has better boxing and slight reach advantage. Not that an inch is going to be a whole lot. They're the same height. I think that's going to be the difference here. I think Yanez's boxing is better. I don't think he's not going to have a cardio issue. As long as he doesn't get clipped, I think he could win. I think Daniel Marcos could TKO, get him I don't think he'll knock him out cold, but I think he could get him TKO victory there. That'd be, I think, his most likely path to victory. But I think Yanez is going to show that he might have a future in the bantamweight division with a win over Daniel Marcos. And then maybe one more win. I can't remember who he fought last. And then he could fight for somebody in the top 15 again. Moving up. Was this the featured? No, it's not even the featured fight. We're getting into some pretty decent fights now. Vitor Petrino versus Dustin Jacoby. Petrino in his last fight shot for a sloppy takedown against Anthony Smith and got guillotined. Gave Anthony Smith a free win. Anthony Smith then claims, maybe I'll have a title just yet. No, you're not. Sorry, buddy. Dustin Jacoby in his last fight gets knocked out by, why did I forget his name? Dominic Reyes. TKO victory in that fight. I was there live. It was amazing to see Dominic Reyes finally get a win live and in person. He's a heavy favorite. Listen, I want to pick Petrino, but I have a strange feeling that Dustin is he's got good kickboxing. That's what he did kickboxing, and then he transitioned over to MMA. I'm gonna pick Petrino just to stay safe, but I have a strange feeling that Petrino is gonna lose again. I don't know why I have a strange feeling. I just feel like he needs to develop more, needs to fight a little bit lower level opposition. I understand Dustin's pretty old. I think he's like 37 years old. And Petrino's younger. Is he like 30 or 29? I can't remember. I'm going to go Vitor Petrino. I think he's going to finish Dustin Jacoby. TKO. I don't know what round. I'm going to go Vitor Petrino via TKO. But don't be surprised if Dustin Jacoby wins the fight. It wouldn't shock me at all, honestly. Moving up the card, the featured fight. Should be a great flyweight fight. We have Manel Kape versus Bruno Silva. I'm going Manel Kape via decision. Silva's pretty durable unless he gets clipped up. I think Kape could get subbed. I think that's probably the most likely way Silva could win this fight is maybe take the back of Manel Kape, get a rear naked choke. Other than that, I think I'm pretty confident in a Manel Kape win here. I think he's got more power. I think sometimes he does have some awkward striking on the feet, just where he keeps his hands, and he's susceptible to getting hit. But I think I have the power advantage over Bruno Silva. Does he knock him out? No, I don't think he knocks him out. I'm going to go Manel Kape via decision. And I know, but he's lost to Pantoja already. Never mind. I was going to say, give him a win or two. Maybe put him in a title shot since Pantoja's beat literally everybody. But he's lost to Pantoja already. So, anyway, Manel Kape via decision. Moving up the card, co-main event. This is kind of a tricky fight to pick. We have Cub Swanson versus Billy Quarantillo. Cub Swanson's old. He's 41 years old. That's so old for a fighter. Billy Quarantillo is not far behind him. I think he's in his late 30s, 36, 37, something like that. Out-grappled in his last fight. Got submitted in the first... Was it the first round? I think it was the first round. Got rear naked choked. Before that, I think that was the Damon Jackson fight. Looked a little hesitant in that fight. I think it was still... I was at that fight live as well. He was still... coming back from that Edson Barbosa brutal knockout loss. I think he was a little hesitant, needed to get his confidence back. So did what he needed to do, get the win in the Damon Jackson fight. He's just going to try and wrestle Cub Swanson. Get him up at the cage, against the cage, get him down. But Cub Swanson has pretty good takedown defense. I think he's got good leg kicks. But he's old. I think I'm going to give Swanson the speed advantage on the feet. I'm going to go Cub Swanson. I think he's better on the feet than Billy Quarantillo. The only thing I'm worried about is if Billy can hold him up against the cage. I don't think he'll be able to take him down, but if he'll be able to hold him up against the cage and win via decision. That's what I'm unsure about. But I think I'm going to go Cub Swanson decision. I don't think he will finish Billy Quarantillo. I think it's going to be really close, 29-28, Cub Swanson decision. Maybe even a split decision. Moving up, the main event. It won't let me click it for whatever reason. Colby Covington versus Joaquin Buckley. This should be a good fight. So my initial reaction when I saw this fight announced is I'm going Joaquin Buckley via KO, and that's probably what I'm going to end up picking. But I want to kind of break it down a little bit. Colby's taking this fight on short notice. I believe it was 3 weeks notice. Excuse me there. So normally, take a fight on short notice, you're not going to be in as good a shape as you would if you were training for a fight. Colby's biggest tool is his pace and cardio. So the question, if you're picking Colby to win, is did he have enough time to get in shape, or was he already kind of in shape but just needed to get fight ready? If he can use, and he looked like shit in his last fight against Leon. If he comes up and shows up like that again, where he just doesn't do anything in circles, he's gonna lose. He's gonna get knocked out. If he comes up like vintage Colby Covington, I think he'll probably win via decision. I don't think Buckley's gonna gas out. He's huge, lots of muscles, so you think he would have cardio issues. He's gone a hard 3 rounds before with Ruzaboyev. So I don't think Buckley's going to have any cardio issues. I think he can go 5 rounds, no problem. I just can't get, and maybe, I broke my foot in the first round. Maybe that is why he looked like shit in that fight. Or maybe it's because he's getting older. He's almost 37 years old. He's not in his fighting prime anymore. My official prediction, I'm going to be going Joaquin Buckley. 3rd or 4th round. Why don't I go 3rd or 4th round TKO? I'm going to go 4th round TKO, just to be safe. I think, I don't think Colby's going to be able to use his pressure and pace. I think Buckley's going to be too strong, because Buckley's been working on his wrestling. He's been working on his grappling. You've been seeing it over his past few fights, working the grappling. Did it in the Wonderboy fight, even though it was kind of like a 1-1 going into the 3rd round in that fight. He's been working on the grappling, so I don't think Colby's going to be as effective in the grappling department. At the very least, I don't think he's going to be able to hold Buckley down. I think he could kind of do like what Merab does and just consistently shoot takedowns, and that might be able to win Colby the fight. If Colby can just press Buckley up against the cage, clinch up against the cage, get him down, maybe Buckley work back up to his feet, and just throw volume punches, I think Colby could win this fight. But I don't think he's going to be able to implement that. I think when he tries to pressure Buckley's not going to be afraid of him. And he's going to throw hard punches back. Now, that could end up biting him in the ass and gas himself out, swinging hard punches at Colby. And Colby, gets out of the way of him and doesn't absorb the strikes. So it wouldn't surprise me if Colby won this fight. And if he does win this fight, it's going to be via decision. I think if Buckley win this fight, he could win via TKO, KO, or decision. But, like I said, official predictions would be 4th round TKO for Joaquin Buckley. I think this is just kind of the end for Colby, out of his prime. But again, hey, maybe he'll win. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Who do you think's going to win the main event? And how do you think they're going to win? If you guys are new, make sure to subscribe. Make sure to drop a like on this video. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.